What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Nour and today I bring you another special video, this Sunday stock watch list, where I give you all the stocks that I'm looking at, either to the upside, to the downside, stocks that I may not like, and stocks that have, some potential or some catalyst that could take it to the next level. But before we go ahead and start this video, hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below what other stocks you are looking at, because obviously, there are going to be stocks that have been running or have been dropping that I haven't really been looking at because there's so many stocks in the stock market. And comment down below what other videos you would like to see on this channel. So let's go ahead and start this video. Actually, one more thing, comment down below if you guys want the shoe collection video or the watch collection video. And if we get 250 likes on this video, then I'll upload one of them, whichever one gets the most votes in the comment section. So we'll see where that goes. So let's start off with the schedule, right? We go over this every week where we talk about, who's speaking, what important events are happening this week. If you guys want a clear picture, go to Trade Like Nour, which is my trading account on Instagram. You can see a few people speaking Monday. You got John, Patrick, Randall. Where's the ADP? ADP employment report on Wednesday, and then you have jobs claims on Thursday. So that ADP employment report will definitely be important on Wednesday, and then you have motor vehicle sales on Friday. So we have a few things this week. Definitely keep this in mind when you're swinging or even day trading during certain times when people are speaking. Volatility can kick up at any moment and you're like, yo, what's going on? You just forgot to look at the report. So that's the report. Now let's look at this. It's blurry. If you want a clear picture, go to Trade Like Nour. It'll be very clear for you guys. It just is a little blurry when you stretch it out on the Mac. So a few things that I'm looking at, or two of the stocks that I'm looking at: Bed Bath & Beyond and Micron Technology, which is MU, one of the first stocks I ever traded on the stock market 5-6 years ago. So those are the two stocks that I'm looking at. Micron does move, so I would love to see where Micron ends up. It's been on, been pretty high here. I think we're sitting around all-time high. I'll take a look at it in a second, but let's go ahead and start this video and talk about what we did last week. So last week, bangers every week. It's very simple. I give you guys bangers. So last week I said watch the 3500 break on Amazon, and then the 3507. 3500 broke, 3507. Then I said 3513 after that, and then after 3513 I said 3520. Guess what it hit? It hit 3524, the high this week. So Amazon $4 off. Perfection there. So Shopify, I said watch the 1485 break and then the 1500 break. Guess what happened? We broke 1485 and we hit a high of 1552 that very Monday. Excuse me. Alright, so we hit 1552 that same Monday. So the next stock here is Facebook. I said watch 340 level. We broke 340 and we ended up hitting a high this week of 345. So it's been pretty sick here. Even if you got in this day and played it here, 340 hit a high of 343. Great scalp there. I think it's a $5 move by Wednesday for 100%. So definitely a clean move. Roku, I talked about the 370 level. After 370 we had 380. This ended up hitting a high of 433 this week. So I ended up playing that 370 break in 380, and then I played the 400. But after that, I left this one alone. It was moving too quick for me. So Google. Let's take a look at Google. I looked at the 2450 level. This broke and hit a high of 2461. Just a $10 move, and ever since it's just been consolidating. So I'm looking for, we'll talk about this week for Google, but I'm looking for a little bit more here if we can get it. DOCU. DOCU, I was talking about the momentum move here above the levels that it was currently at. There wasn't a certain level, but I was looking at 280. I caught the scalp on 280 to 282, but other than that, DOCU's been consolidating as well. Same range. I'm looking for this to either break out or fall, whatever comes first. But that's last week. This week, we have a few different stocks on our list here. So I'm going to start off with something very different. Space. Space, I caught this one. It was a pretty crazy day Friday. Look at this. This stock was up 38%. At one point, it was up 43. After hours, it's up like another 5% right now. So this hit a high of 40. It was at 40, hit a high of 59, $19 here. So this got approved. Alright, I always get text messages and phone calls during this video, but this got approved with the FAA. But this this actually squeezed in pre-market. This pulled back and gave you the opportunity to get in on the pre-market high from, what was it, the 50 break? Yeah, it was the 50 break, and this pushed straight up to like 56. It took like I would say like a half hour, if that. Yeah, it took like less than a half, or a half hour, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It took like 35 minutes to hit that high right there, 55, 56. So it's pretty crazy. I'm watching Space here. Let me tell you why I'm watching Space, right? You have, the stock has a high short interest on, a high short float. So what I'm going to be looking at is 57, right? We hit the high. We already broke that pre-market. I had the alert up. Now, I'm watching 60 and then 62.80. Now, if I put this on the 3-year, you'll see exactly what I'm looking at. We have 60. We haven't had a candle close above there on the week. And now if I put it on the 1-year, 1 day, it's been struggling with the 60. The highest candle close here is 59.45. So once we break this 60, take out this new high, 62.80, we're looking at another crazy day like today. We didn't even, or today, I mean Friday. And then from there, we'll be hitting, you know, we never know from there. But this stock has some crazy momentum, and it's very easy for volume to pick up at any time on this, and it's just a mover. This is not the first time, you know, Space has done this in the past year. You could see crazy moves in weeks from $26 to 62. So Space is known for this, so I want to take advantage of this. The next thing I'm looking at is Roku for this week. I'm watching, let me put this on the 1 hour actually, so you guys can see exactly what I'm looking at. So we have an uptrend here going on. We just broke aftermarket here. I'm watching this 440 break if we move too much pre-market Monday. So you can see that we're consolidating here, and you know, we consolidated for 2 days, and then we finally kind of pushed, but obviously this was aftermarket, so they can easily reject. So if you look at it on the 4 hour, this looks like it stalled a little bit, pulled back, and now we're ready to go here. So I'm watching the push here, the momentum shift, and then I'm watching 440, and then my next resistance there is 443.45, and then from there, obviously, I'll be looking at 450, and Roku's not that far from all-time high. A couple weeks ago, this thing was at 273, so I'm very surprised that this made a run. Now, the next stock I'm looking at is Amazon. Amazon has been the cleanest stock to the downside this week for me, or for any of the stocks that I've been looking at. So now if I put this on the 5-day, you can see we hit that high of 35.24. We looked at the upside. Now it quickly shifted to the downside. As you can see, this fell all the way down to 33.94. We're looking at $120, $130 here to the downside from that high. So it was a very clean move to the stock, to the downside. As you can see, certain levels here, that low 34.30. I remember the biggest or best moves that I caught were the 35.80 breaks, which was this one down here to 34.64. I also caught the 34.50 level, as you guys can see right here. This fell from 34.50 all the way down to 34.34. And then I ended up catching this low here at 34.30, and this fell all the way down to 33.94. Amazon has had some sick moves, so I will be watching Amazon to the downside because we are still on this trend. This thing has been consolidating for three years, since July 2020, and on a 3-year chart, you can just see we're in range. Now we're on an uptrend as well, so we need to keep that in mind so that we don't, pull back too far. But if we pull back to 3,300, watch for another bounce, trade back to 3,500. But we're struggling heavy at this 3,500 level. So I'll be watching. Either we break this downtrend and fall down here, or we come down here and bounce. You never know. We'll get some stock split rumors, with Amazon. I think that's the most important thing here, stock split rumors. I think that's the biggest catalyst that can take this higher. Not that this matters for the company. Like, a stock split doesn't matter for the actual company. It's not going to improve their sales or improve anything. It's just a catalyst that's been working. So Nvidia announced it, Tesla, Apple, they all had their moves off of that. Obviously they've pulled back since, but I think that's the only catalyst that's really going to take Amazon to this next level here, or the new high. But we're at 3,400. I will be watching either that break of the the uptrend or the high there of 35.50. We're $150 away. Seems like far away, but you can see we dropped $47 just on Friday. So that's Amazon. Now DOCU. DOCU. So, this hit high of like 283. I'm not going to be playing the new highs on DOCU. I'm not interested. I'm going to play the all-time high, or I'm watching to play the all-time high. I'm looking at this 290 level. You can see on this 3-year chart, it looks great for me. I want to play this 290 level. And then from there, you know, this thing can hit easily 300. And then from there, we'll see where that goes. But I'm looking at this momentum thing. If you can look at the last 20 days here, this thing went from 210 to 280. So momentum is definitely there for DOCU. I'm watching that. I won't be playing that new high unless we get to 285. I see some sort of, you know, resistance. We're struggling, whatever the case may be. But I will be watching 290, and then from 290 I'll be watching 300. So that's DOCU. Google's on the watch list as well. Let me tell you why. You guys can see on the 1 year. This is not the chart I want to show you, but the 1 year, you can see we're just consolidating. Now if I put this on the 1 hour, the 5 minute, you guys can see we touched 2460 twice. 2461 twice. So we've hit an all-time high on Google. We touched it twice, and now we're just watching to see if this breaks out of this range. On the 1 year, it looks great. So if we take this bounce here above 2460, you'll have a nice little breakout here up to 2500, and it'll look really good on a technical level from the chart. So I'm looking at this 2461 level. We touched it twice. We rejected there twice, and from there we'll see where that goes. So NVIDIA, next one. NVIDIA, we had a pullback. This has been on an absolute tear. Remember with Shopify, those 2 weeks, this has been crazy. So we pulled back a little bit. We're what, $15 away from all-time high. That's nothing. We were down $7 on Friday. Now let's look at this on the 1 hour. As you can see, we're kind of just, you know, ranging in this little, you know, box here. We still have an uptrend going on. We're hitting a high, but barely. Now if I put this on the, I didn't mean to put it on the 3 year. Now if we put this on the 1 year, you can see we just rejected here at this 770 level. We haven't had really any candles close above on the 1 year. Now this is just a pullback. We've had a run from 542 to 776 in a matter of what, 2-3 weeks, and now we're looking at 776. Now if we get this pullback, or if we get this bounce here, right, we get a bounce here and we come back and break this 776 through 780, we're going to see 8800 on NVIDIA very quickly. Now as far as the downside, everybody's going to be looking at the downside since this has been on the run. Obviously this has been on an absolute tear, so it's very easy for this to pull back, especially if the market pulls back. It'll make it a lot easier, but I'm only watching to the upside right now. The only downside on this watch list is Amazon. Does that mean I'm bullish on every stock here? No, do not be biased. The only reason I have the upside is these are the only levels that I find very interesting and you know, worth the risk here. So obviously these stocks can fall down. This doesn't mean I'm bullish on any of these stocks. It just means, or even if I have the downside on everything, it doesn't mean I'm bearish on these stocks. So it's just stocks that I'm looking at, technical levels, catalysts, fundamentals, whatever the case would be, they go on the watch list. So that's the stock watch list for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below, and remember, 250 likes, you'll get that, you know, either the shoe collection video or the watch collection video. I'll see you guys. Peace.